Hey guys, it's the Kurgan, and today I went and saw Incredibles 2, and this will go how all my other reviews go. Obviously, I'm going to go in, describe the story, and not spoil anything, and say what I like, didn't like, give her a rating out of 10, and yeah. So, I was extremely excited for this film. I think we've waited like 14 years since the first film. And was the wait worth it? Does it live up to the hype? Yeah, pretty much. I feel like it does almost completely. There are some things, but I'll go into that in later detail. Now, what I did like was the story was quite different to the first film, I feel. It was quite different. Now, what the story is about is after. Well, there's a lot I can't really tell you because don't. The good thing is they did not show a whole lot in the trailers. So the best I could describe this without spoiling anything is Helen decides to become a solo superhero in order to gain support for heroes so they can be brought back from the ban that was made in the first film. Whilst going up against villains, and while Bob has to stay at home and deal with the life of being a stay-at-home dad, taking care of Dash, Violet, and Jack Jack, whilst Jack Jack's powers are starting to manifest. And that's probably the best I can describe it without spoiling anything else, because they do not show a whole lot of the trailers, which was good. Good on you, Disney. Now, what I definitely liked was, again, the story is different to the first film. The animation is amazing. It's obviously going to be a big step up from 2004, but oh my god, the animation is crisp. It is beautiful. It looks lifelike at points. I loved it. Every character is just like they were in the original film. You know, Bob is just a likable dad. Helen is, the cool mom, but also, really kind of controlling and a bit bitchy at times. Also, she thick. Okay. Anyway, Jack Jack is adorable. He gets a lot more screen time in this film, and he's probably the best part of the film. He's absolutely hilarious. Violet is great. She's got this mini story with that boy Tony. Dash, he's great as always. Different voice actor, but I didn't even notice because he sounds exactly alike. You even get Edna back, and there's some new characters, and one of them's voiced by Saul Goodman. If you ever watched Better Call Saul or in Breaking Bad, which surprised me because I love that. I love that character. So I was just fangirling. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, I like that. And it introduces new superheroes, which is always a good thing because all the other ones got killed by Syndrome. So yeah, I like the animation and the story is different, and the action, really good action. There's a lot of really good stuff. I can't really think of too many bad things. But if I had to really say, I feel I'm not going to say who the villain is because it's a spoiler, but when you do meet the villain, not as good as Syndrome, I have to say. Their plan is interesting, but I feel like they're not as charismatic and entertaining to watch as Syndrome was. Syndrome will always be a great villain in my opinion. He was sympathetic because he was embarrassed and not treated right by his hero, but he was also so charismatic and douchey. You hated him and you were kind of wanting to see him go. But yeah, and I feel like there's some cliffhangers in the first film that don't really get kind of fleshed out a whole lot in this film. But other than that, there's not a lot to hate on this film. If you grew up watching the first film, you're obviously not going to hate this film a whole lot because it's that good. And I love this film a lot. So I think like overall, I'd give it an. I feel like everything would give this movie a 10, but it's just the villain is a bit of a drag on the film, in my opinion. They do kind of drag the film down for me, whereas Syndrome boosted the first film. And overall, I do like the first film more though, because I thought it had a much more interesting story, and though the story in this film is great, but I thought Incredibles 1 had a more interesting one and a better villain. But overall, I'd give Incredibles 2 a 9.5. It would have been a 10 if it just wasn't for the villain. I wasn't really into the villain. But overall, I loved this film a ton. Is gonna go, if I do another one of those top films of the year, is gonna be definitely low on the list of great. And I really liked this film. I really did. I waited so long for it. My childhood. I'm going in, little kids getting smacked out of the way, like get out of the way. It was like Finding Dory. I love that film as well. But yeah, overall, not as good as the first film, but Incredibles 2, 9.5. Really good film. Great action, great story, great characters. Just a not so good villain. So yeah, that was my review, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm the Kurgan. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!